Breakfast in the city.
8:39 right here in the city of Lagos. We're still serving you breakfast hot this morning. Not the one that will make you cry, but the one you need to start your day right. My name is Chiwete Onyema.
And I am Baby Sasa. Today is the 23rd of May, 2022. And of course, in few days, we're going to be saying Happy Children's Day.
Yeah.
Super excited about that. And of course, so we're starting conversations this morning. Yes, with our guest. We have a guest joining us this morning. She is Bolanle Edwards. She is a COO at Mary Edwards Soft Furnishing, an interior design and space management company. And of course, this she started after working at the Communications Trend Nigeria Limited and Shell Petroleum Development Company. Now, Bola, she's fondly called, came across some alarming statistics in 2009 on child safety, which triggered the birth of Strap and Safe Child Foundation, a non-for-profit organization where she acts as a convener. She is a diehard child safety advocate at home, road, and school. Strap and Safe Child Foundation works in tandem with the Federal Road Safety Commission, that's FRSC, Coalition of Road Safety in Nigeria, CORSEN, Lagos State Ministry of Education, Lagos State Safety Commission, Nigerians Unite for Road Safety, and Lagos State Ministry of Transportation. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
For having me. Yes,
it's so good to have you. I mean, this is a conversation we've been postponing for a long time, but thank God. I mean, Children's Day is right now, and you know, there's so much concern about child safety in Nigeria. On Friday, to be precise, we had a caller calling, and I mean, aside talking about what we're discussing at that time, she made mention of us just, you know, elaborating on how parents need to, you know, take conscious effort in ensuring the safety of their children. She made mention of just you know, going on her way to work and seeing a child in the front seat just beside, you know, the driver, and she was just so angry. The child almost flew out of the car, you know, and it's just crazy why parents are not concerned about the safety of their children.
Yeah, the story you just told me now reminded me of how we started, because this was how I was going so berserk on the roads.
Right.
I was practically flagging people down, you know, stopping vehicles from moving except that child is properly strapped. And that was how Strap and Safe was birthed. This is an anomaly that has come to stay. We really do hope that parents, drivers, whoever is the caregiver at any point in time driving those children can begin to think that safety first. Children have been relegated to the back burner for so long a time, and because they're voiceless and they're minors, nobody thinks that their life really matters. You know, why does it make sense for a child below the age of 12 even sitting in the front seat of a vehicle? It's totally wrong. There's a law that is you know, being guarded with this. However, it's not been implemented. There is a law in the Child Rights Act, it's there, and in the Constitution.
So it's not being enforced, and that's the issue.
It's not being enforced.
Wow.
We have tried to speak to our lawmakers to pass this into a law, and but then it's not happening. So everybody should keep doing what they do. Make sure that the children are properly strapped and they're not a moving object whilst the car is in motion.
Okay, so sometimes I know these things are quite it comes from a place of emotions, right? Your child is at the back, you know, you're doing what you're supposed to do, but this child is just crying, and you know, some children are just so clingy to their parents, and the parent is trying to concentrate. Let's not forget, you have to also focus on the driving, but the crying is just distracting, and the parent is like, you know what, yeah, come, let me just, you know, carry this child and place this child on my lap, so let me just move this short distance. How can parents overcome that temptation? Because let's not lie, when you hear your child cry, you are moved to want to do something.
I know, Joetta, this is a story that everybody, I mean, this is a question that everybody keep asking. I recall so well when my babies were younger. And there was this day I was in a very bad traffic. I'm talking of traffic, hours and traffic. And I had my baby in the car seat and with the help sitting with him. And he wailed, he didn't cry, he was wailing. He was wailing, he would sleep, he would sob, he would cry, he would wail. But guess what? He didn't die. That cry did not kill him. And I was tempted, I won't lie, to pull him out. Okay, just quickly now, can I just quickly? But I didn't do that, because I'm telling you, that space of 1 second, anything can go wrong. And we've had cases of people who have done that, and I mean, it went really gory. Children that were crying, or a child that was in his car seat, and the mother pulled him out and was breastfeeding whilst driving. There was actually one that was doing that, yeah, and they had a bad hit from behind, and the child was tossed through the windshield.
Ouch.
So you hear stories like this. So, and again, for me, for any mother who is emotional about that, think about the long-term effect of it. Would you rather cry over that child now or for the rest of your life? Let the child cry. The child won't die. Let's separate emotions from safety. Safety first. Because you're not doing that child any good. It's hunger. The child will get over it. At some point, you will feed that child, or that child will be attended to. Maybe it's a wet diaper, or the child just wants attention. But there are children who are really manipulating. Children are generally manipulated anyway.
Yes, they are.
So don't allow them to manipulate you as an adult. You're the parents. So please, let's separate emotion from this. It's daunting, but it's doable.
It's doable.
It's doable.
All right. What are the other child safety rules that we need to be focused on and put our attention on? And because I mean, sometimes it's kind of like a blind spot for so many adults out there. So could you just bring to the fore some of these things we need to highlight and put more attention on?
There's so much. I'm going to put them in 3 parts.
Okay.
Like you read in my citation that we do safety on the road, safety at home, and safety at school.
Okay.
If you're to look at the safety on the road itself, it's huge. We're talking about pedestrian safety. We're talking about car safety. And that again can be segregated into portions and parts, whereby you begin to look at how people should walk as a pedestrian on the side of the road. Do we back the traffic? Do we use the pedestrian bridges, or we just go, or do we walk in the middle of the road? We actually see people that they get carried away, they're gisting, and they're right in the middle of the road, and until they hear a honk, that's what So, and then you look at, let's move away from that. Let's go to home safety as well, whereby you have children. Another one happened just last week,
Right.
where a child was drowned in a swimming pool.
Yes.
Yes.
So that story
Yeah.
on
In a school.
online.
In a school. And we've also heard of an artist, a Nigerian artist whose baby was also drowned in the swimming pool right under their nose at home. So we're looking at safety at home, where you have to guard and guide your children against every unsafe activity. You're talking about fire safety, you're talking of electrical safety, burglary safety. Strangers will talk to children and they adopt them and they take them away. Then we're also talking about, of course, safety at school. We're beginning to look at where school will begin to do safety audits. Audit your school from time to time. Be sure of the fact that when children are being dropped to school between the hours of 8 a.m. till about 4 p.m. thereabout, everything and everywhere in school is safe for them. Because at times, really, parents really don't know what goes on. There are times that you don't even know. I have done 2 drops off this morning. I have never had to use school bus because you can't dictate what they do. And so many of the schools also outsource this, this logistics issue because they don't want to. And when you see the school buses on the road, you wonder, do the parents really are they aware of what they're paying for? Transporting those children from point A to point B it's not the value for what they're paying for. There was one that happened about 2 months ago. I had to double cross that school. Wasn't one of a school bus. It was a commercial vehicle, 18-seater bus that had about 40 children, and they were going on excursion. I couldn't handle it. I was overwhelmed. I blocked him. It was 40. They were going. I blocked them around Omole Phase 1, and they were heading towards Berger. I blocked them, and I asked every child to come down. Luckily, the owner of the school was on the bus, and I told her, I said, you are indeed a very wicked woman. You are a woman for that matter. And you could have children being, sandwiched like animals. Meanwhile, they were going to a zoo in Ikorodu. I said already you are making them have a feel of an animalistic nature. Moving them on the roads like this. The children were already, some were palpitating, some were sweaty, they were dehydrated. And I made sure they got a bigger bus to transport those children. How many of that? There are some you don't even get to see. There are some that you don't even get to accost on the road. So it's the normas.
So do you think it's a case of people not being aware, or they just really do not care?
I think it's more about selfishness. People know. They know. The scenario I just painted to you now. The woman told me that, oh, ma, it's not my fault. Some parents came in the night and said their children were crying that they wanted to go for the excursion. But then you did not provide for them. Early comers were provided for. However, because of money making, I don't know, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Excursion, something will come in. And at the end of the day, you added more children to those children who had paid conveniently for their own safety and added more children to them at the last minute. So I think it's more of selfishness, self-centeredness. Ignorance is really not it. People know what they do because we are adults.
Because we're adults. Oh my goodness, such an enlightening conversation this morning. We're talking child safety with our guest who is already here in the studio, Bolanle Edwards. We'll talk more about child safety, but we need to pay some bills. Stay right here.
Breakfast in the City.
8:54 right here, of course, in the city of Lagos. It's Breakfast in the City. My name is Chiwata Onyema.
And I am Bibi Sasa. Still in the studio is our guest, convener of Strap and Save Child, Bolanle Edwards. Thank you so much for being here to talk to us about child safety. All right, so I mean, let's just talk about child safety. I mean, the theme for this year's Children's Day, which is happening on the 27th of May, this Friday, is investing in our future, means investing in our children. How do you think parents can take a cue in this? Because I mean, security, safety is very important. It is pivotal. How would you ensure parents take more, more intentionality in ensuring that their children are kept safe and secure?
Life generally must be intentional and deliberate. That's my mantra. So for a parent, for whoever has brought a child into the world, must be intentional and deliberate about parenting that child. And what does it take to parent a child? It's not just about paying expensive school fees. It's not about taking the child to the best place in the world. It's about being intentional for what happens to that child daily. Because when you look at safety, safety goes beyond the physical safety aspect of it. You have emotional safety. You have a physical safety. You have so much that you need to begin to unravel when it comes to your child. And I will tell you for free that safety has become something internationally that everybody in the world, except from this part of the world, where people begin to look at, you know what, I must think and drink safety. Every 4 minutes, according to WHO, a child dies around the world. And for me, that statistics is staggering. If you're to localize that statistics and come to Nigeria, you and I know that it's
devastating
a
number.
Devastating number. So really, everyone must be deliberate about it. You must begin to think and drink safety, sleep safety. What is happening to my child from the point where the child spends time at school until the child comes back home? And there are times that you really can't even do it by yourself. So you might need to take professional help. There are children who are so unsafe mentally. We're talking about mental health here as well.
Yeah.
And they don't know what to speak with. And the parents just feel that, well, this child just wants to be on his own.
Left alone.
And you leave that child in the space and the child becomes so, it's built a wall around himself. And he's beginning to do things by himself for himself. And when he grows up, people will wonder. In America, you wonder why a child will just wake up and carry gun and start shooting people.
It's a build-up of so many emotions, yeah.
And I believe so much in the foundation that you lay for your children. It's all about parenting. It starts from home. Charity begins from home. Really, there's little the parents can do, or school owners. They're just custodians. You are the owner of those children. You must be deliberate and intentional about what happens to them.
All right, thank you very much for coming to share your thoughts with us as regards child safety. And we really hope that, parents out there will do better. I mean, sometimes laziness seems to creeping, and at the same time, you also just want to do things at your own convenience. No, at the end of the day, safety should come first before emotions. Thank you so much, Bolanle Edwards, for coming. And we hope that, with everything you do, parents out there will know and actually choose to do better.
I really hope so.
at the end of the day.
Honestly.
All right, then this is just a reminder that this session will definitely be uploaded on our YouTube page at City 1051, so you get the opportunity to listen to it again, and of course share to friends and family to just be informed on how to ensure our children are kept safe. Yes, child safety is a thing, and you should be on top of that. It's your number one lifestyle station. My name is Bibi Sasa.
And my name is Chiwata Onyema.
Breakfast in the City.